And we are live. Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm Reverend Shorty, and this week there's probably going to be, for the rest of the week, 2 reviews a day because there's simply so much out this week that I want to read and review. And the issue I have is that a lot of it is stuff that I kind of already wanted to read anyway, so I kind of go into it with a bit of a bias. And I don't want people just to watch the channel and think I'm only reviewing stuff that I like. So I'm going to mix it up. And every day in the morning, I'm going to review something which is not my pull list. I didn't start my pull list, and I'm going to try it out because I want to read it. And then in the afternoon, it's going to be something which I don't intend to put on my pull list, and it might surprise me. So we're starting with West Moon Chronicles, or the West Moon Chronicles, should I say, from Scout Comics, and it's a creative team I'm not particularly familiar with. And the reason it was on my radar, something I was interested in and was going to take a look at, is it's kind of an urban fantasy-esque canoning. It's got different cultures of mythology, specifically Korean, which it does interest me. I think I've told people about Trece before on here, like genuinely like that kind of thing. And I like the kind of action side of it, and the art I saw looked fantastic. So I thought, yeah, this does sound kind of cool. I was a little bit disappointed because the title, West Moon Chronicles, sounds like it's going to be some kind of sci-fi western or horror western, which is also very much in my wheelhouse in terms of what I enjoy. It isn't quite that, but I still really liked it. And it's a frustrating one to review because it didn't quite make it onto my pull list. It's not quite there. There's something lacking a little bit, and I think it's down to the fact that I think I need to read issue 2 before I'm going to fully commit to it, which is a bit of a shame because Scout Comics, although it's great for comic book stores, they'll have an issue 1 and then they won't even solicit number 2 until number 1 is in the shop and it's been on sale for a while. So stores can get a better idea if they want to order it or not. You don't get stuck with a whole bunch of issue 2s that nobody wants because you ordered them before issue 1 came out. So I have to wait quite a while to get it. And it's frustrating because there's a lot of stuff I like about it. For start, the writing is really, really good. There's an awful lot of just one-on-one dialogue or 3 people having conversations, and it works really effectively. It flows nicely. We have breaks into Korean, but then a native Korean speaker speaking English, kind of broken, but it still works really nicely. It gives a sense of character, like really effectively, that he's an older man who's very set in his ways, and he has learned enough English to get by, but he's never become a full fluent English speaker. He still has broken sentences, but it feels, like I say, it's an authentic way of character building there. And you've got his grandson, who is a bit of a sleaze, bit of a scumbag, got himself in trouble with some gangsters, and he owes a lot of money. And then a woman who's turned up with him, who it turns out, and I'm not even going to bear lead on this one, is a nine-tailed fox creature from Korean mythology. And the granddad is actually somebody who knows about shape changers and fights them and defends people and knows about like dragons and all this kind of stuff, which is great. I love this idea. It even has a little of the old dog kind of vibe to it, of like the older guy who's ex-military and who's maintained his fighting ability and prowess. And when it comes to a state that he needs to get into a fight, he's really, really good at it. But it never comes across as like the idea of a perceived wrong. It is more along the lines of he is protecting his grandson, like specifically at that exact moment from a mythological creature. So it doesn't fall into the power fancy canon very effectively. It is more of a defender against the supernatural, which I quite like. Help go check out Ones in the Future, perfect example of that one. And when you do get into the fight, it is brilliant. It looks amazing. There is just absolutely fantastic motion going on. There's a wonderful bit of a woman running away, then doing that thing where she runs up a tree and backflips over to face the guy again. I love that kind of thing. It's something which looks fantastic in movies and TV shows when they do it, and genuinely looks great in a comic book. It also has this really nice little bit of foreshadowing where we're told that she is, at this point, a nine-tailed fox, but we have no idea if that's true or not. At this point, it might just be an old man having some issues, but you see as she's landing, her nails have extended into claws slightly, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that is actually a pretty nice little bit of work there, telling us that there's definitely more going on. And there is so much more going on. You also get like a lot of backstory about this kid and the life that he's led and the way he is around the world, and stories about the granddad and things that he did during the war, like reference being a war criminal or just a coward. And there's a woman who the grandson got pregnant, who disappeared. And then when she turns up at the end with a dragon, and all of a sudden the art flips into this like ethereal gorgeousness. Apologies for all the beeping. It's absolutely fantastic coloring. It jumps off the page in a way that it hasn't done, because it's been kind of washed out and grey coloring all night. And the shots at night and the fight scenes that happen. And now I have to talk about like why it didn't quite land 100% for me, because there's still a lot of information there, but a lot that doesn't get answered. It starts at a point and then jumps to 8 hours later, and then it carries on to the point where I'm like, well, when we're going to get to that bit at the beginning, because it says 8 hours before, and then stuff's happened and night has come. It just feels like there's some narrative going on that isn't fully explained yet. And I'm hoping issue 2 will answer all these questions, because it's so well written and the characters are so cool and the world building is fantastic and the fight scenes are wonderful. I just want a better narrative structure to pull it all together and make it more satisfying for me. That's it from me for now. Like I say, I'll be back later on with some other random thing, and we'll see how that goes. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.